This Ultra Instinct Jersey Club. Ain't no way. I got Top Club. Wait, Jersey Club Top Rock. What does that mean? Bro, what? It's not even bad.
Praise God.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I'll be honest. It's not the worst thing I've heard of. Fuck it. I'll loot this shit. What the fuck is this, bro? Alright. Is it too loud? Can y'all hear me over it? I know my voice loud as shit, but I'm just making sure before I start talking to y'all. I'm just making sure before I start talking to y'all fuck niggas. Just get out. I'm tired. Need this on repeat the whole stream. Say less. We'll see. Audio good? Alright, bet. Alright. Alright, y'all. This is my official job tier list. Every job I've worked over the last 10 years. I started working at 18. I'm 28 now. And I have had a lot of jobs in this decade. I have had a lot of jobs in this decade, bruh. Some jobs more than once. I ain't gonna lie. Some jobs I've come back to. This a little too loud for me. Hold on, it's a little too loud. There we go. Alright. But my first ever job was don't read ahead. Hey, don't read ahead. That's cheating. You can't read ahead, bro. You can't read ahead. You don't see Audi. You don't see Audi. Alright, bet. Alright. First ever job was built. Oh, I gotta name the tiers. Ah, shit. I forgot to name the tiers. Damn. Shit. Bottom tier 2025 the baby. Top tier 2025 Cardi. Shit. Kev, give me some years. Kev, give me some sports players. Wait. Who's a really ass basketball player? Can I put Spectrum Pick? Can you put Spectrum Pick over the S tier name? I don't know if I can put Spectrum Pick over the S tier name. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know. I think you just fucking. Do I not have ad block? No, I don't have ad block. Y'all finna see every ad in the game. Don't click on none of these ads. Don't. Actually, wait, if some porn pop up, let me know. Wait, no, I need some bad, Sicko, I need some bad players. Give me some bad players. 2025 Cardi. Let's see. Who had a, what era was T-Pain going crazy in actually? Was that like 2010s or something? Was that early 2000s? 2000s T-Pain. Let's see. Wait, no, I don't like a lot of these jobs. I need bad things. 2025 Kef. 2025. Wait, no. 2016 Sicko. Okay, yeah, it's solid. 2009 LeBron, 2000 T-Pain, 2016 Sicko, 2025 Kev, 2025 the baby. Actually, I won't say 2025 Kev. I'll say 2030 Kev. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. All right, bet. All right, these tiers, they exist. They look all right. Is that you as the pick? Yes, that is me as the pick. That is me as the pick. I uploaded the wrong photo 2 times, so I'm just gonna leave them in there. This is when I worked at Spectrum. It was my badge photo. Listen, bro. I clicked the wrong document. Bruh. This before this like when I had my hair short though. But I got locks now. I'm locked up now. But all right. First ever job when I was 18. I dropped out of college and I worked at Bojangles at the college in my hometown, Charlotte. I worked at Bojangles. First, I just needed a job. I needed some money, you know what I'm saying? Type shit. It was fast food, so that shit was super ass. I I mean, I liked a few of my coworkers. It was a couple funny niggas, you know what I'm saying? It was this weird annoying girl. My managers were kind of stupid, but you know, that's any job. But fast food is just ass. I mean, it's just I started as a dishwasher, then I, you know, eventually in fast food you start moving everywhere. So I started learning other shit. But yeah, nah, that shit was dog shit ass. It wasn't the worst job I've had. It was my first job. It kind of got a special place in my heart. I ate free food all the time. I was, you know, big back and shit. You know the boy type shit. It was probably, I'll say it was middle of the road. Like there was probably worse fast food joints. They let us get away. This song is giving me a headache. Okay, I need another song. Yeah, this song is giving me a fucking, what is this? That song is giving me a fucking headache. Holy shit. Holy shit, bro. Alright. But yeah, Bojangles, what happened? How long did I work there? I worked there for 6 months. And then, oh yeah, I remember. I worked there for 6 months, and I remember it was about to be, I started working there like the winter of the year before. And after 6 months, wait, no, this is definitely copyrighted. Hold up. I need Jersey Club, bro. I need Jersey Club. The Living Room, Jersey Club, R&B edits. Remy Boo, I've listened to this all the way through. Oh, this. Jersey Club playlist. What? Why is Caillou's bald ass there? I'm going back to this. All right, there we go. But yeah, so I worked there for 6 months, and I remember it was like to be summer. We was all making like talking about summer plans and shit. And I was like, yeah, summer coming. You know, it's gonna be a lot less traffic. Like I ain't gonna be working weekends no more. I'm finna turn up. I'm finna have a good time. And my manager, she was like, nah, you can't, like, she overheard the conversation, and she interjected. She said, nah, you can't decide you're not working weekends. And I was, you know, just like, you know, just talking, whatever. She was catching an attitude with me. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna work weekends if I don't want to. And she said, if you don't want to work weekends, then you gotta quit. And so I quit. Like, I quit my first job because I didn't want to work weekends over the summer, bro. And I was like, I'm not, you know, you ain't talking to me like that. I ain't doing that. Fuck out of here. I ain't really like the job anyway. Actually, remembering that made it go down a little bit. Fuck her. Fuck you, Tammy. Fuck you, Tammy. You can't, yo, big back ass. You can't make me work weekends I went to on summer vacation on the college campus. I'd be dead anyway. You about to have to send me home every day, but whatever. I'm not playing Big Man Blastoise. Actually, that is a good song. Let's see. Big Man Blastoise. Pokemon rap Big Man Blastoise. Man Blastoise. I'll put that shit on loop. Alright. After Bojangles, I got a job at Food Lion. This job was also ass, bro. Spoiler alert, most of these jobs are ass. I hate working. I hate jobs. All these shits about to be low tier, I'll be honest. Like, all these shits about to be kept tier or the baby tier. But this ain't gonna work. Palm Tree Panic. I think I remember this. But yeah, nah, Food Lion, I got hired on as they call it a blocker or a conditioner, which is like a nigga who just like straightens the shelves and helps stocking when needed. It was like part-time at first, and after doing that for a couple months, I got to be a stocker because someone quit. And yeah, that job was alright. It was just a stocking job. I fucked with my team lead. Was really cool. He was a nice dude, a nice Asian guy. He always said I was funny. That was my boy. But I did have this, like, I had this really creepy manager. It was like this old man with like a really thick ass mustache, old white man with like a furry worm on his upper lip. And this nigga, he would always like he was just creepy towards women. It was really odd. He had awful energy. I hated being around him. I think his name was Greg or something. And Greg, he always had like this like gas station bottle of like a gas station bottle of like it was like one of them big chug jug things, and he would fill it with soda every shift he worked. So this man was drinking like more than a liter. Maybe it was diet soda, but he was like down in that shit every day. I don't know how he wasn't dead. I mean, because he wasn't like even a fat man. He was like on the skinnier side, but he would carry that big jug around in like a shopping cart. He carried that around in the shopping cart, and he would say creepy things to women. I did. So eventually, with that job, I was getting paid shit. Both jobs I was making like minimum wage. I think Food Line I was making like I think $9 an hour, but I remember I got my first raise. My first raise was, how much was it? I think it was 9 cents. Why are y'all saying inspirational? What is making y'all say inspirational? But yeah, my first raise was like 9 cents, and I got pulled into the office, and my manager, his name is Rich, you know, mind you, his name was Rich, and he was like, yeah, you know, blah blah blah, you know, you've been doing good here. This could be better. Anyway, you know, here's your new hourly wage, and that shit had only gone up 9 cents, and I was like, nigga, like. You know, I mean, and I was like, I bet, you know, I appreciate it, and I'll try to do things better in those departments. And I remember this specific quote. This nigga quoted Yoda to me. He said, "Do or do not, there is no try." Ever since that day, I've hated Star Wars because that fuck ass manager had the nerve to quote Yoda to me when he gave me a 9-cent raise. I quit like 2 weeks after that. I quit very soon after I got that. I hope that nigga had a heart attack. I hope his daughter betrayed him. I hope his daughter betrayed him, bro. Fuck Yoda. Fuck that nigga Rich. I hope he die. I hope that nigga Rich die, bro. I'm so for that was so ooh, I get mad thinking about that. This is like a decade ago, and I still get mad thinking about that nigga. Fuck that nigga, bro. But yeah, that was, and I worked there for I think a little under a year. I was there for a minute. Like it was a yearly raise. He gave me a yearly raise of like 9 cents, and I was like, nigga, you playing with me? Like you spitting in my face right now. This is crazy. This is crazy. Damn, like that's about to make it go down. like besides, but it was a good job. You know, stocking's easy. You on your feet. You moving around. You know, the crew. It was like me and 3 other niggas. We was all funny. We was all having a good time. It was skinny black dude, taller, bigger black dude, and a tall, skinny Asian dude who was our lead. We was having a good time. But redeem, making it put 2030 Kef above 2016 Sicko. I got you. 2030 Kef. 2016 Sicko. There you go. I'll switch those tiers. But yeah, no, it was a solid job. Just besides the bosses that were so ass. Fuck that nigga Rich. Anyway, let me move on. After that, I remember my brother, he was working at he was working uptown where they were like bouncer work for bars, and he was like, yeah, you should do it too. I was like maybe 19 or 20 at the time, and I'm a big dude. I look like a bouncer. I gotta stand there, you know. Bouncers look like bouncers. You ain't gotta do too much. You just gotta scare drunk niggas. And so I applied to be a bouncer at it was a dueling piano bar called Howl at the Moon. Really corny ass bar. Goddamn. It was like a live in-house band of 5 people, and they would like play pianos and sing and like play guitar and like swap around instruments and shit. And it was really corny, and most of the time it was pretty bad. The only girl that could actually sing there was like this black girl who I'm still friends with to this day. You know, shout out Aaliyah. Shout her out. I think her music career, it took off a little bit. She making some songs. She doing some things. But the rest of the niggas could not sing to say their ass. They couldn't rap. They couldn't sing. They wasn't funny. They was cool people. They was alright people. But the thing about working in a bar is everyone that works in a bar has fucking problems. Like everyone has some kind of trauma. Everybody got some kind of mental illness. Everybody got some kind of demon in their heart. You can't trust nobody. But nah, this was probably one of my favorite jobs, honestly, though. Like even though it had a lot of problems and I was like going through a lot of shit working here, you know, I'm met some cool people, you know what I'm saying? Met some people I still talk to. Met some older niggas that, you know, gave me some, you know, wisdom, put me on type shit. goddamn, let's see. My boss was this Asian man who was corny as fuck. He acted like a white man, and his name was Chris. See, he's seen white in everything but what he actually was. He was white as fuck. I did not. That nigga was corny as shit. Guess me how I got fired? Okay, well, okay, wait. Fool line. Okay, I quit the last 2 jobs. How the moon? I didn't get fired. Okay, let me spoiler. I don't get fired from most jobs. I'm a good worker. I just be quitting. Like, nigga, I just be leaving jobs. Like, I've only been fired once. Like, and we'll get to that later down the line. But yeah, nah. So Howl at the Moon, I stayed there. This is the longest I stayed at any job, which was like 2.5 years. And the only reason I left, my last working day was St. Patty's Day in 2020. My last day was St. Patrick's Day in 2020. And anyone, class pop quiz, what happened in March of 2020? Class, first answer gets 1 wish granted. Can anyone tell me what happened in March 2020 that would make a bar job no longer exist? Does anyone, any guesses, any ideas? You know, because there's a few things, but I went bald. Nope. Sicko had no hoes. I mean, that's true, but that's not the reason. COVID COVID happened. You all failed. COVID shut the bar down, and so yeah, my job was gone, and I was like, damn. I was doing bouncer work. I had started doing bar backing work, and I was even starting to learn to make drinks so I could be a bartender. You know what I'm saying? Like I was loving that job despite all the negative parts about it. But yeah, nah, fucking yeah, COVID shut that shit down. We was all chilling. But the thing about COVID, because COVID shut that shit down, oh yeah, I forgot to include, because COVID shut that shit down, the next like 6 months after, while COVID was, you know, very rampant and still going on, I was unemployed, and I was like on them Trump unemployment checks, bro. Them Trump unemployment checks was hitting, dog. Like I was making money on them Trump unemployment checks, dog. Them first 6 months after COVID, the nigga, I was boiling. Like, a nigga was boiling, bro. Let me tell you. Fucking, I'm gonna use this as the unemployment picture. Then I'm gonna use me as unemployment. That was the greatest job I ever had. Like, if we being for real, that I was getting paid, nigga. I was getting paid. I was making like, I don't remember how much I was making a damn ton. I was making more than I had made up until that point. Unemployment, yeah, nigga. Unemployment. I was unemployment's final boss. I mean, the bar scene was gone. None of us had jobs, so we had to hop on unemployment. And because you know, I stayed with someone who's immunocompromised, I couldn't get a job immediately, just to like while we still figured out what was going on. But yeah, there was like 6 months of that before I got back to the workforce. You know, it wasn't really great. I was like going through a lot of shit. I was like depressed. You know, when COVID first started, it was a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? A nigga was battling demons type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was fighting with some shit, but I made a lot of money and I ain't had to work, so that was cool. You had friends getting the same pay for the COVID unemployment while your dumb ass is working COVID retail. See, after my first 6 months of unemployment, I did work COVID retail, and it was at Lowe's. I worked at Lowe's home improvement store, which was specifically, I worked in the paint department. I had never seen paint in my life. I had never worked with paint in my life. I ain't know shit about paint. Everyone that works in a home improvement store usually don't know shit about what they working with. But you know, I'm charismatic. I can talk to any customer, and I can learn bullshit. I can read labels for you. Eventually, I'll learn what to do. But yeah, nah, I was there in that paint department and sometimes helping the department beside me. How long was I at Lowe's? I think like, how long was I at Lowe's? I think like 8 months to a year. Or was it over a year? I don't remember. Maybe like around a year. I was at Lowe's around a year, and it was solid. You know, I mean, it was a typical retail. I had to learn to mix paint and shit. I had to learn how to like tell niggas like how to paint their house. I had never tried this advice, But I was lying to niggas like I did. Like, people would come into that store asking me, hey, I got this rental property, blah, blah, blah. What should I do for it? And I'm offering them things. I'm telling them what I learned about like priming and painting and shit. But you know, they landlords, so they get the cheapest shit anyway. But they had me telling professional niggas what they do with their fucking residents. It's like, nigga, I don't know. Why you asking me? I work at Lowe's, bitch. I work the paint machine. I crank open the paint tin, I put in the machine, I put your numbers in, they put the color in, we shake it up. Oh, it did have some funny moments though. I never forget. There was, it would happen every so often where you put like a paint thing, you open it, put like the color tint in, and you put it in the paint shaker, and it's like maybe you didn't seal it all the way, so it would like burst out a little bit, or so it'd get the paint machine there. So every machine was covered in different colors of paint. Fucking, it was just a mess. But I remember one time I didn't like seal it shut all the way, and I shook it in the paint thing, but no paint came out. So I didn't realize it was like open a little bit, I guess. I mean, or maybe paint didn't come out, but I didn't see it. That's probably it. My dumb ass. But so I give it to the customer. They don't know it's open. So they buy it, they take it out. They take it to their car and shit. Hour later, my manager come to me. He was like, hey, like, do you know what happened with that can of paint earlier? I was like, oh, what can of paint, man? He said, yeah, a customer took a can of paint home, and they said when they was driving home, it spilled everywhere in the backseat of their car. I was like, damn. I painted that nigga's car like a light beige color you would use for a living room or something of some sorts. I coated that nigga's car in paint. And believe it or not, I didn't get fired for that. Like, I didn't get in trouble for that. Like, I don't know. I'm not evil. I don't know why I didn't get in trouble, like reprimanded for that, but it's like, I guess maybe the customer was okay with it. You're not okay with that. Maybe the corporation paid for it. Like, maybe there were like certain like protections in place. So it's like, if we fuck up, we can't be directly held liable. Maybe the corporation just takes the hit. It's a big ass corporation. They're making millions, billions. You know what I'm saying? So they can probably afford a few fuck ups. It's probably whatever. But I fucked that nigga's car up, bro. But wait, let me see a picture of the room, and this room deserves eggshell. Yeah, that's the thing though. Like, I be telling niggas like, yeah, bro, like, you want, I be putting my hands on, like, you want something with some good contrast, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, I was telling niggas what I learned from working with customers before, because like, at first I was just saying shit, and niggas was like, no, I don't think that's right, and they correct me, and I'd be like, oh, bet, you probably right. And so I just steal that knowledge, you know what I'm saying? So as I got corrected by painters that came through, I just learned more and more about the job. And of course I Google some shit too. Sometimes I would take my phone out and Google shit in front of customers. They ask me something, I'd be like, I mean, I could Google that for you. And I Google it, and they're standing there watching me Google it. Mind you, they have a phone. Mind you, they have internet access. Mind you, this is a capable adult who drove here, came here, has a job, he has a life. They don't know how to Google though. So I Google for them, and I'll show them the search and be reading it to them, and they still nodding at me like I'm nigga, I'm reading Google. You could do this, but whatever. Customers are stupid. Most customers are stupid. But I remember we had to, because in the paint department we also had to sell like caulk and shit too, and like silicone and sealant, and like shit like patch holes in walls, and niggas would ask me questions about that and best advice on that. I didn't fucking know. I ain't know shit. But I was telling them, I hope niggas ain't come back complaining to me. Pause on the caulking. Now sometimes the residents need a good caulking, bro. That's just what it was. Sometimes you just gotta, fill the hose, you know what I'm saying, type shit. But the best thing about Lowe's was I did end up meeting my current barber there while he was in barber school. So I think he was I was telling him how to fucking paint. He was like painting his new studio or something so I could start cutting hair, and I gave him good advice, because by that point I knew what I was talking about. So he was like, yeah, when I get like set up, come through, if you need a barber type shit. Usually I ignore niggas like that, but like I ain't have a barber at the time, so I was like, all right, bro, bet, like, let me take your card. And that's still my barber to this day. This was like 3-4 years ago. So that's my fucking nigga. That's my fucking that nigga Mo Cuts. Shout out that nigga Mo Cuts, bro. Funny ass name, funny ass nigga, but that's my boy. That's my boy. Every time I come to him, I got a new job, and he last time I talked to him, I was at a different job. So when I go to next week, he might be like, bro, I told you to stop leaving jobs, nigga. I don't work so many jobs. See what my barber waits. That's crazy. I'm just like putting it all in perspective now. That's funny as hell. But what's up, Connor? Goddamn, it's a stack list. Yeah, nigga, a nigga gotta work. You feel me? You feel me? But yeah. So the only reason I left Lowe's really, because like it was retail, but it wasn't too bad. I loved everyone I worked with. Even in other departments, I fucked with the people there. The only reason I left is because I saw a really cool opportunity. My best friend, Freak Ryan, whatever you want to call him. Shut the fancy auditorium jizz. Hey, appreciate you. But yeah, my boy Freak, my boy Ryan, he put me on with this traveling merchandising job. And he was like, hey, bro, like it's real simple. You know, we get to travel around, work and shit. You know, I get to live on the road for a little bit. Kev? Freak ass nigga. Stop asking the bot if his shit moist. Wait, spin on the block 3 times at Amazon is funny as fuck. Yeah, listen, we're gonna explain that. Bro. Don't worry about Amazon. But yeah, so yeah, I ended up working at Davico. It's a traveling merchandising company. One of the coolest jobs I've had for sure. We would just go on different projects and work on different stores and shit. Like the first stores we was working on, they were like these country hardware farm supply stores called Tractor Supply, and we were redoing their tool corral department. So it was like we would spend 2 days at the store, redo that, like those like 3 aisles, fast as fuck. It was overnights, and we'd be in the hotel chilling. We had rentals, you know what I'm saying? We didn't really have no bills, so we was out there making bread type shit. The only thing was like I didn't really know how to do some of the work because I had never used tools before. You know, I ain't had no dad growing up. Like, I ain't had no real pops growing up. Ain't nobody teach me how to use a drill. Ain't nobody teach me what to do with a hammer, nigga. They got me with the left-handed hammer once or twice. Shit, I'll admit it. But I learned what that shit did. You know, I learned what it meant. I learned how to use a drill. I learned how to use an anchor drill. You know what I'm saying? I had my little DeWalt tools going on. You know what I'm saying? I had my shit. A nigga was kitted out. You feel me? Nigga was kitted out. What's up, John? But yeah, I learned a lot on that job. Could I do a lot of that work again today? No. But now I can like look at something going on and be like, yeah, I know what you need to do here. Yeah, you know. I can look at niggas doing like construction work and be like, yeah, I see what they're doing. I get that. You know, I can give them some pointers. Like basically, I'm like a regular man. I became a regular man upon working this job. This job helped me become a better man. I know how to like look at drills and point, be like, yeah, you need a different bit for that one, man. You know, hey, you got a Phillips or a flathead. You know what I'm saying? And is that basic as fuck? Hell yeah, it is. However, I didn't know it before. I ain't know shit about nothing before. So shout out Davico. You know, I got to travel the country for a little bit. The only thing was, I should have became a man at 25 years old. On God, I was sleeping in that hotel bed, and my frontal lobe developed on the spot, nigga. I learned that shit just in time. Because if I had waited like a year, my nigga, like I was gonna be like 26, and it wouldn't have worked out. You feel me? Like it would have been too late. But I learned that shit right before my shit developed, bro. This was mad recent. Yeah, these jobs. So wait, let me give y'all the years. Bojangles was like 2015. Food Line was like 2016, 17. Yeah, Food Line was like 2016, 17. Howl at the Moon was like 2018 to 2020. Lowe's was 2020, 2021. This was 2021. This was just 2021 because I only said this job for 6 months. I have so many jobs left. Yeah. Yeah. So you're noticing a theme. Right? But yeah, Davico was cool. I only stayed for 6 months though, because so after Tractor Supply, it was 10 years. Shut up. It was 10 years. And I'm going to tell you how. Like I said, Davico, only 6 months. We're still in 2022, 2021. We're still in 2021 by this point. So, you know, this is 2021. This is 4 years ago. A lot of jobs. My resume comes in 2 binders on God. Yeah, but that was my first job, John. But yeah, no. So that was after Tractor Supply. Fucking that project was easy. It was tired and stuff, but we got like 6 days a week. We was getting paid overtime. We was making dumb bread. I was with my boy. The only thing is, I was like going through other shit, which is also a recurring theme. And fucking what else was I doing? I was homesick, bruh. I was homesick, man. Like, I living in hotels, you ain't really got a home, dog, and I wasn't really built for that. Like, I was like, can I come home and come back? They was like, no, nigga, if you come home, you gonna miss the project. And eventually we eventually working under Davico, we started working on Lowe's stores. So I was working on Lowe's stores. And keep in mind, this job, it had me in like Texas, Georgia, random cities, and was it Texas, Georgia, where else? What else in the South? Some other southern states or whatever. The longest project I had with this company, I was in Reno, Nevada for 2 months working on a Lowe's there, because that was like a long project there. And I think that was the last project I did. Oh, that was the last project I did with Avico, because I worked in Boone. I worked in Boone a couple times. The last project I took was in Boone. It was in Boone, actually, and I was like, I'm really close to home, and me and Ryan was like, we're gonna like visit home for a little bit, like after this project ends and before the next project. So I visited home, you know, I got to see my peoples, and then it was time to go, and I was like, shit, I ain't really trying to go nowhere, dog. Like, because they was trying to split up me and Free. They was trying to split up me and Ryan, man, and I was like, I don't want to be on the roads alone, nigga. That's scary. I ain't trying to be out there with these random, like, co-work ass niggas, living with co-work ass niggas. Like, those be my only peoples. I couldn't do that. It was niggas that work them kind of jobs are they like one step away from being like an actual crash out. And I don't mean like the TikTok white nigga crash out. I mean like actual legitimate crash out criminals. Like, one nigga, he abandoned the project one time to like go do some illegal shit. I ain't gonna say what it is. I don't, you know. This is a small stream. I ain't gonna say it anyway. But he left to go do some crazy shit. We was like, that's insane, nigga. Like, what's wrong with you? He probably, I hope he got locked up. This same nigga, he also had like a meth pen he would smoke on. It was crazy. Yeah, but yeah. So I left that job because after like a break, we came home. I didn't want to go back working on the road or whatever. So after Davico, I was like, shit, let me get a job home real quick. Let me get a job home real quick so I can make some quick bread. Oh wait, how many W-2s do I need for 2024? We'll get to that. But yeah, let me get a quick job real quick while I need some real bread while I'm back home. That was my first rendezvous with Amazon. Amazon at the time, they were still doing a COVID shit. They was like, hey, you work at Amazon 6 months, you get a $3,000 bonus. I was like, shit, fuck it, I need a job. Amazon starts you quick. It's simple. Let a nigga know. Those were the hardest 6 months of my life. My left hand hurts to this day. To this day, I got left hand pain from that job. Like, Connor, what Melee did to you, Amazon tried to do to me, and it was only 6 months, bro. That shit had a nigga. It was grinding me to dust, dog. That job was hell, nigga. I felt like a slave, bro. That shit was miserable. Again, cool people, you could wear what you wanted. It wasn't no uniform, but damn, like, my problem is, like, sometimes when I go to work, I don't know how to like pace myself for a whole shift. I'm bad at not working hard, which sounds ironic considering I leave every job I've been to. But like, when I'm at a job, I'm working my ass off. Like, I work hard as hell. But like at Amazon, that is an awful trait to have, because working hard at Amazon just gives you more work. Like, it doesn't mean you get your work done sooner. You just get more work to do, nigga. Like, and it's like, if I wasn't working hard as hell, I did not want to be there. Like, I wanted to leave. So I just kept working. Like, it was 10-hour overnight shifts, like 5 days a week when they did the mandatory overtime. So I'd be working like 50-hour mandatory overtime weeks, fucking just grinding my bones to dust, nigga. I was in my best shape ever working at Amazon. But god damn, a nigga, my soul was hurting, bro. My soul was on fire. That shit was painful. That shit was painful, man. So and the way they did the bonus was after a month you got $1,000, and after you made it 6 months you got the other 2,000. So that's how they keep niggas locked in. So as soon as I hit my second 2,000, which I shouldn't have stayed around for, the day I got it, I stopped coming. The day that $2,000 was confirmed in my that I was getting it, I stopped coming to work. I was like, nah, I don't need to do this anymore. Now. That was ass. So after that, I was like, let me go to a more established delivery type niggas. You know, let me go to Amazon's father. Amazon's like the pre Amazon, so to speak, the who that came before. You know, they walk so Amazon can run. FedEx, nigga. I was like, let me go to FedEx. Let me be a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? Let me lock in here real quick. I made it 1 week at FedEx. Cause bitch ass FedEx, nigga. Bitch ass FedEx. They wanted. So Amazon, we didn't handle any package over 50 pounds. And so nothing was ever heavy. They just, made you work fast as fuck and work the shit out of you. FedEx had me on a truck by myself trying to unload 100+ pound boxes bigger than me. Like, hear me out, bruh. Hear me out, nigga. All right, you gonna listen to me, bruh. You gonna listen to me. All right. FedEx, they had me moving fridges by myself, and it's not like with like tools or nothing to help me out. I'm pulling them down off the truck, trying not to crush myself with no AC. In a time crunch, nigga, I about damn broke my back the first week. That shit, I was like, what? That made me realize Amazon is actually that's the best warehouse you can work at. Cause every other warehouse is like FedEx, and they are ass, bro. They are, and also, so I did quit because I got burned out immediately, but it's like. So I was full-time with FedEx, which is like a full-time position with FedEx doesn't really exist. It's like they just give you 2 part-time shifts. It's full-time hours, but you don't get benefits, whatever. So like, there's no real full-time position. And the way it worked was you work your first 4-hour part-time shift, you leave, and then you come back for your second 4-hour shift. And typically, they just schedule it back to back. So it's like it's basically an 8-hour shift with like a break in the middle, but it wasn't like actually that. It was weird. But I remember one day. My last day after my first shift, I was like, all right, let me take this little 30-minute lunch. Mind you, we got out late that day. It was a lot of work. I got out like 30 minutes late that day, so that would have made me late to start the next shift. This is important. And so after that first shift, I got out. I went to my car. I was like drenched in sweat. I was like, nigga, I'm tired as hell. My back hurt, but I was all right, After my 30 minutes, I was ready to go back in. I was like, all right, I took my breather, I took my break, I had my water, let's get it. So I walked back to the building for the next shift, and like I said, I'm 30 minutes behind, mind you. So I'm talking to the nigga who like does the staffing, because like the way it works, you walk in the FedEx building, and they be like, you gotta like sign your name on a paper, and then they send you through the door to like go do your job after you sign in, whatever. So when I go to do that for the second shift, he like, oh nah, we full, man. And I'm like, nigga, what you mean y'all full? I'm full time. I was like, I just came back from my lunch. Like, I need to get back to work now. He said, nah, like the next shift already started and they at capacity. So like, we can't let you in. So I'm like, nigga, no. I'm like, I came here to work a full-time shift. I'm finna work a full-time shift. I'm like, I'm not going nowhere. And so me and him, we going back and forth for like a few minutes until he gives up and goes like, ask someone else. I needed them. I was trying to make money on, bro. I was trying to make money. And so yeah, he after a few minutes he gives up and goes talk to someone else, and like he comes back like a few minutes later and he's like, all right, you can come in. And I'm like, yeah, I can come in, nigga. I came here to work. Like, what you mean I can come in? And so I go in there, I finish my shift, whatever, and they was trying to like after the shift lecture me. They was like, you gotta make sure you're on time for like the next shift if you want to keep working 2 shifts. And I was like, yeah, the first shift was behind because of the amount of work we had. I had to take my 30. I gotta take a lunch, nigga. Like, I gotta take a break. The first shift made me late to the second one. It's not like I showed up late to work. I took a 30. Not even that. I was gone for 30 minutes, nigga. Like, give me my spot. And they was trying to Lex me on that bullshit. So I was like, nah, I'm in pain, nigga. Y'all saying like I can't take it my 30-minute break. Y'all saying the second half of my shift not guaranteed, nigga. I quit right there. That was funny as hell. A week, nigga. A week. So yeah. Is it my fault? Could I have stuck it out? Yeah, probably. But fuck that, nigga. Like, there was too many jobs available at the time for me to stick that out. Why be a prisoner? Why be a hostage to one job where you could simply go to the next? You feel what I'm saying? And so that leads me to the next job. My next job, I was an oil technician at Valvoline. Man. Now, I mentioned earlier, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no traditional man shit growing up. You feel me? Like I was not a trad man. I could not perform my gender role to the best of my ability, and that became incredibly evident working for Valvoline. They had me doing oil changes on niggas' cars, bro. I use old uniforms as pajamas. It's so bad, Kev. I use like all these shirts and other shit as fucking pajamas. I threw away some really old shirts because like they just like got worn out. I'll sleep in an Audi shirt in a minute. I be wearing Davico shirts out because I like how the Davico shirt look. I'll be honest. Shout out Davico. That solid blue with the little white thing. I like that. The long sleeve fits very nicely. It's a well-designed shirt. Like, I'm just my fault. But yeah. But anyway, it's just the name tag. It ain't got no name tag. Chill. But yeah, Valvoline. I interviewed there. Cool guy interviewed me, and I was like, bro, I don't know shit about cars, man. I can't name you a single thing going on under that hood. But like, you know, I could learn. And like my problem is I'm really good at interviewing and I'm really good with people. So like, are those skills that I can and have taken advantage of? Yes. Did they get me some jobs I probably didn't qualify for? One job, yes, Valvoline. Because you don't need qualifications to be at oil tech, but everyone else that worked there, they had worked on their own cars before, they had done oil change before, everyone knew what was going on. I was the only nigga learning what like a car looked like, nigga. I'm like, shit, what's a 4-door sedan, bro? Like, I'm be real with you. Like, I'm gonna give it my all, but yeah. I did learn some very, very valuable shit on this job that I didn't know before. Like, I know how to do an oil change now. I know how to like do an oil change now. Can I do your next oil change? Fuck no. But like, do I have the ability to? Yes, I have the ability to do your next oil change. However, would I always rather just pay for it and have some fucking technician handle it and I ain't gotta worry about it? Yes. Yes, I would rather just go to a Valvoline. Here, I fucked up a few times here. I was only here for like 4 months. I fucked up a few times here. The assistant manager, he was this like gay Hispanic man. He ain't like me for real. Big boss man, he liked me, but he knew I was a fuck up. And the other niggas there, they fuck with my personality, but they know I didn't know what I was doing. But I remember there was one nigga's van. We was like really busy, and I was, why he got to be gay? Cause he was a gay nigga. Like, he was. That's not a problem, but I remember the gay manager Oscar did not like me. Like, and I wanted to be bro's friend, bro. Cause like, I liked his vibe, I like his energy. You know, we had, you know, I thought at first we could have been homies, but he did not want to fuck with me, bro. Sure doesn't call AAA, he called Triple actually. Hey, oh God, nigga back Excalibur with the sword. You know what I'm saying? But nah, yeah, nah. But he didn't fuck with me. That's beside the point. So there was one day we was really busy there. We was moving fast forward. We was all sweating. We was all doing oil changes. And it was by this point I was confident enough to do the top side part by myself. I was still learning bottom side. I could do the top side part by myself. And so, I'm doing my call outs. I'm screaming and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's time. It get time for me to pump the oil in this nigga's work van. So I pump it, however many course I got to do. And I get to the course, right? And that's like, it's a little oil gun, whatever. I got my finger on the trigger. A nigga keep his finger on the trigger. But somehow, with that specific gun, the trigger got stuck. Like, there was an option to like make how like gas pumps, you can set it so it's like it keeps pumping gas by itself and you just hold it in place. They had that with the oil guns too. And so, you can just set it on that and then like turn it off as you got closer to the end. However, the lock on this one wasn't coming off. So I'm steady pumping oil in this nigga's engine and I'm like, oh shit. If I take this shit out, I'm about to get oil all over the inside of this nigga's van, bruh. But I'm like, I can't. Eventually it gets to a point I gotta take the gun out. So I pull the gun out. Oh, so coming out that bitch. Like, I doused the inside of this nigga's hood with nothing but straight semi-synthetic oil, bruh. And it's like, I take it out his van. And that's not the worst thing. That's still doable. Like, because the thing is, and like, you could fix that. You know what I'm saying? You could just spray it down with water on the inside. That ain't no problem. However, when I took it out his van in a panic, because I didn't want to get it all over his van, I shouldn't have panicked. I like take it out and it's still pouring oil like on me in the floor. And so oil getting on the floor around me. I'm like, oh shit, nigga. Like, oh fuck. Like, at some point I turned towards the wall and like fucking shot a spray up the wall, nigga. Like, I was like, oh shit. And after this is probably only like 10 seconds, but in that 10 seconds, nigga, I made a mess. I got all over that bitch. I got all over that hoe, nigga. And I go to get the shit to clean it. I go to get the shit to clean it. Nigga, I slip on the oil. Nigga, I slipped on the oil, bro. And so I fall. And I'm like, damn, nigga, now I'm covered in oil, bro. And like, that was just like the top it off. And the nigga inside the van, he like, what's going on? It's at this point my manager knows. He said, "You good, man?" And by that point, I had already stopped the machine. But I'm getting up off the ground. I'm having trouble standing up because the ground's slippery. I'm covered in oil. The inside of this man's van covered in oil. The bathroom door covered in oil. The office door covered in oil. Well, it's not covered, but it's like sprayed down the middle with oil. That was one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me on a job, bro. That shit is funny. It's funny as hell. Look, it's funny as hell at the time too. That shit was mad cartoonish, nigga. I felt like Bugs Bunny and them, dog. I felt like Elmer Fudd going after Bugs Bunny, bro. I felt like Daffy Duck, nigga. My beat was all the way on the back of my head, nigga. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. I mean, I'm in tears though. That shit was fucking crazy, man. But nah. But yeah, nah, even did you walk after that? Oh yeah, I was chilling. I was cool. The thing is, like, I couldn't have gotten workers' comp because, like, I mean, well, I ain't get hurt for real, and it was my fault, and I was low key high as fuck. Oh, did I walk out? Oh no, I didn't walk out. I think I worked there for like 2 more months after that. The only reason I left this job is because like I said, the manager really didn't like me, and because of that, like, it felt odd working there. Like, he tried to like target me on shit. It was weird, and I was like, I don't really fuck with that. Like, like, usually if there's a person I don't like in the workplace, I don't really care because I'm a grown ass man and I just like won't bother you. But it's like, if you like doing shit and like it was affecting the way he was scheduling me. Like, I had like really specific times where, I agreed to work my availability and shit, and he kept going against that, and I kept having to check him on that shit. And I was like, hey nigga, like, stop scheduling me for this time. Like, stop putting me in mornings when I work. Like, I just got off the night before, nigga. Like, stop doing that bullshit. I don't work that shit. Yeah, I ain't fuck with that nigga. So after 4 months there, I didn't quit. I got another job. You feel me? I got another job into Spectrum. into Spectrum call center, bro. Which honestly, it was a pretty solid job. Spectrum was a pretty good job, man. I remember I had my phone interview like at Valvoline. It was a slow day, and I remember getting in the car and I walked outside to have the phone interview real quick. I killed the phone interview, went in person. I killed every interview I go to. I'm just a good interviewing ass nigga, bro. Like, that's just what I do. You feel me? I be lying my ass off in that bitch. Name a time you nigga. I'm making up a story right there. I'm making up a story right there, my nigga. What you mean? Name a time I'm lying. These are not real. I have never told a real name a time you story. Like, what? Why would I tell a real one? Niggas be like, oh, you gotta prep for interviews, blah blah blah. If you work in any job like this, no, you don't, nigga. Bitch, just lie. Just say some shit. So yeah, I remember one time, I had to pick up slack for the team. Nigga, I'm lying like shit. I ain't never picked up nobody. Nigga, I'm the slack. Like, I just came from a job where I was the slack. Nigga, I ain't pick up nobody's slack. I don't deal with conflict well at all. What are you talking about? But yeah, got hired at Spectrum. It was cool. When I say it was nice, I mean it paid really well. It was comfortable. I was sitting in the AC. Like, you got to keep in mind, where I was working fast food before. I was working warehouses before, manual labor before, unemployed before, bouncer work. So like Spectrum, it felt like a real job. It felt like my first quote unquote real job. I was sitting out at a desk having meetings and shit. They saw my performance metrics. I was like, I bet. Was call center work soulless? Hell yeah, call center work can be soulless. But it was the best job I had up until that point. My only problem is Spectrum. So even though, I'm saying, I'm bigging up how much I like lying to people, how much I like lying to the interviewers or whatever, that's only in job interviews. Outside of job interviews, I like being as honest as possible. Like when I'm doing, I do, I work customer service jobs. I do like helping people. I do like, making sure people's needs are met. And I'm that type of nigga. I try to, help people out. With Spectrum, it felt like I was being a villain towards some of these niggas, bro. Because Spectrum is a trash product. I've always had Spectrum internet for as long as I can remember. I had it back when it was, Charter or Time Warner Cable. I had it when it was Time Warner Cable, and it's always been ass. But it's like Spectrum is a product that's ass to this day. And they had me defending that bullshit to these fucking customers because they whack ass policy. We was scamming customers, bro. That shit was ass. Like, I was lying to niggas. I felt bad for niggas, and I couldn't help niggas. I felt like my job was to make niggas' lives as miserable as possible, and that made me miserable. The job itself is so easy. I can get yelled at all day. I can take calls all day. None of that shit bother me. Working, like being a bouncer, I had drunk niggas yelling in my face. I had to like get physical with niggas. I don't mind a nigga on a phone yelling at me. That's whatever. But I felt I get good people calling in. I know they good people. I can tell they good people, and I'm having to tell them ain't shit I can do, bro. I'm having to tell them, yeah, you got fucked, but that's policy. So like Spectrum in the right. Spectrum covered themselves legally, and every call is recorded. So I can't even say too much agreeing with them on the call. I gotta be like, yeah, that sucks, but nah, that's what it is. Anything else you need help with? And it just made me feel bad. So like, I think I did that for like a year. And it made my mental health pretty bad because I felt like a bad person. So I ended up leaving. Now Chick-fil-A. Oh wait, I skipped a couple jobs. Hold up. Wait. Time out. I skipped two jobs. Hold on. I gotta. Wait. Let me throw them in. Let me rewind real quick. Let me throw them in here real quick. I skipped two jobs. These are very brief jobs, so I'm gonna go over them real quick, but I skipped two jobs. Give me a second. All right, bada bing, bada boom. We back. All right, boom. So you probably wondering why I got Jesus here now. You probably wondering why, Jesus T-pose and like what's going on with that. You might be thinking, what job could this be? Was he a priest? Was he a statue? Was he Jesus? Nah. When I worked at Howl at the Moon, that's when I really saw I was like, I gotta get on my grind type shit. I gotta start making more money. Let me get some part-time jobs in addition to this night job. So one of my boys, he was a chef at a church kitchen, and he let me be like a prep cook at the church for like in mornings. So I would work there in mornings. I'd be working here till like 3 a.m. Then I'd get up and like go here at like 7 a.m. Job DLC in the middle of the stream is crazy. But yeah, nah, I get off here, I get home like 3 a.m, fall asleep 4, be up at like 6 and be here at 7. It was I was tired as hell, but I was doing that for a little while. It was real easy. Working with my chef was really nice. So he was my friend, you know. I still hit him up sometimes, see how he doing. That's my boy. He was a really good cook, so I love tasting whatever food he made. The chef we were working for, he was, you know, right-wing white guy, but it's like at the workplace, that's sadly pretty common. So he wasn't even that offensive by their standards. We just didn't talk about anything outside of work because I didn't want to hear his opinions on nothing. But yeah, nah, that was a cool job. But this also ended when COVID started. So this was also with Howl at the Moon. So like when Howl at the Moon stopped, this stopped. They will stop at the same time. But this is a nice job. This is a nice job. I hope, you know, I hope the people at that church are doing good. It was very nice people going there. I didn't have a single bad experience at this job. It was just nice people. UPS, I worked here peak season as a driver helper during, what year was that? Was that 20? What year did I work for? 20. It was the end of 2019. This is before church too. I was a peak driver with UPS, driver helper with UPS like during my off days at Howl at the Moon. So I'd be with the driver, we'd be delivering shit. It was really chill. I was just in his truck. I hop out with a bunch of shit in like a cart and like service one neighborhood and he keep going. We was busy as hell, but it was fun. It was simple. There was no like the time culture wasn't real because like you had enough time to do your work, so it was whatever. I met a lot of nice people. Delivery jobs are always fun because you always meet nice people who want to like help you out. They treat you nice. You know, you meet like rich people. They be trying to give you shit. They all be real thankful. You know, it's a nigga bring you a package. You better be thankful, bro. Thank me for my service, nigga. Salute me or shoot me, nigga. Don't shoot me. But yeah, that was a nice job. I probably put that. Yeah, I put it down here. I put it over Davica though. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. But all right, yeah. So all that's cool. But yeah, fast forward back to the present. Back to the present, nigga. We just left Spectrum because it's a soul crushing job. We get hired at Chick-fil-A. Now, Chick-fil-A, the thing about it is I don't know if this counts, but I never actually started working there. like made it through the interview, got the job shoes, got all my paperwork done. And the day before I started, Amazon started hiring again. And Amazon paid more and it was closer. And I had done it before. So I was like, man, shit, fuck. And Chick-fil-A wanted me to shave my beard off, nigga. They wanted me to shave my beard off, nigga. I'm not shaving this shit off. I want to keep that shit. Amazon let me keep my beard. So enter, you know, my second bout with Amazon. I believe I need another tier for this one. I believe I need another tier with this one. Second time at Amazon tier. And we're gonna put Jeff Bezos' bald head right there. I'm not a real human. All right, so my second time at Amazon, nigga, this also lasted a week. Nigga, cause like, bro, it's so the first time I worked at Amazon, it was already hell, whatever, right? But it's like the one thing I'll give credit to my first time at Amazon was like it was all people working together, so we could all like. There was like a pace to the work. It was like an ebb and flow where everybody was tired. Work kind of slowed down a little bit. Why even rank it? Cause I thought it was funny. I'll be honest. I just thought it was funny. Cause I got hired. All right. I got like, you know what I'm saying? I got my work shoes ordered through the company that I never actually picked up because they stood up. Anyway, yeah. First time at Amazon, it was awful, but it was chill. It was cool. Second time at Amazon, the facility I worked, it was a different facility. They had like robotic components in the process, so it's like some of the process was automated, and so that made it so the pace of work never slowed down. Because when humans are doing it, human error and human fatigue makes the process slow down, and that gives everyone a little break because everyone's getting tired. when there are automated components in there, it no longer slows down. And then they're getting on you harder because they're like, why aren't you hitting this speed? Why aren't you keeping up with the machine, the automated process? Nigga, I am not a robot. I cannot keep up with Cortana and Jarvis working at this speed. Nigga, I'm tired. I need to slow down. I cannot work with Wally, my nigga. Like, that's not, I can't work with Tron and them. That's not for me. I can't do it. And I would have stayed here longer. I would have kept working there, you know, despite, because I mean, it was still, honestly, it was still better than FedEx, but fuck Amazon. It was still better than FedEx. FedEx was, whew, it was still better than FedEx, but it was my second time at Amazon. I was already jaded, and they added AI in that. They added like fucking automated workers in that bitch. Amazon was the second rank on the list, and leave your new job that you did not start to go back to them because it paid much better, and I didn't have to. You don't understand how much I need my beard. Like, you'll never understand what it's like to be a fat black man without a beard. And lucky you, because if a fat black man without a beard, everybody see who you really are. You know, with a beard, I can, like, you know, I can come off a certain way. I'm a little more suave, you know what I'm saying? It look nice. Without the beard, I look foolish. I look foolish, man. I look like that substitute teacher you never respected in 3rd grade. Like, I don't look real no more, and I hate that. I hate that. Would you have done it if you couldn't get the Amazon? Yeah, because I need work. I need to work, so I would have done it. But Amazon paid like $5 more. Like, Chick-fil-A was, I might be making like, I think 14 an hour, and Amazon was like, what, 18 or something. So I was like, fuck, I gotta take that higher pay. But yeah, I wish I had tried Chick-fil-A, because maybe I would have liked it. And it was like right across the street too, so I could have walked over there. But you know, I digress. Fucking second time Amazon, fuck your bald-headed ass Bezos. Fuck you, suck my dick. But I only left though because I found another job. we almost there, y'all. We almost there. This second picture of me is, you know, I throw him down there with bald ass Bezos. But I started working with a security, not security company. It's like a guest relations, like public service company called Best, and they're under Gardaworld or whatever. And it's like all you do is like stand at events and just like be the people there. You just be like a stadium attendee. You be stadium security, which is really easy. Stadium security ain't nothing on Bounce Award. Like, this job, it was really chill. I got to meet some athletes and shit. That I got to meet the entire Carolina Panthers team. And the only one I can name is Bryce Young. The only one I remember is Bryce Young, and that's because I just knew his name. So, you know, they was cool dudes. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't working for real. We was chilling. They didn't really care if you use your phone like that, as long as you was like, you know, paying attention when niggas came through. But yeah, it was chill work. It was chill work. It wasn't enough hours sometimes, so, you know, it was with events. So when events going on, you have all the hours you wanted to work. Like, I got to work the fucking the 2023 Georgia Tech versus Georgia, I think. Was that it? Yeah, I got to work the field for this game, and that was a great experience. That was crazy. I had never seen like an NCAA game that close. I had never seen an NCAA game in person, but that was a fun ass experience. I'm glad that job let me see that game, so it was fire. It was fire. But yeah, did that for a little bit. Hours wasn't enough, so I was like, I need a full-time job again. Enter Aldi. Aldi, the only job that I've been fired from. Now you're probably wondering, Trevor, why did you get fired from Aldi? I probably told all y'all by now, but no, Aldi was like the most warehouse grocery store job you can have. It felt like a warehouse, but you also had to have some customer service. It was weird. But the job itself was pretty easy. It was pretty straightforward. The only thing is Aldi works a skeleton crew, so the max amount of niggas you would have working at one time was 4, and they considered that too many people. They wanted ideally 3 people working and just working the whole store, which is doable. It's doable until you get busy. The second you get busy, and like, because there's like one person who's the cashier, the main cashier, one person who, you know, a manager, and one person who's pretty much doing all the other things the manager can. The manager doesn't have time to do. So it was easy until lines was like backed up out the ass. And the thing about my Aldi was like, it was like most Audis, like the formula worked where it's like they had like downtime and they had enough time to like have the store clean by the time they closed. My Audi was in the hood, is in the hood, and that's still my Audi. Shout out that Audi. And it's like it got busy at the time we were supposed to close, which is like 8 p.m. And because it got busy at that time, you could never start getting ready for closing. And they didn't want you to stay late to close. Like if you stay over an hour to close, you getting yelled at, and it got like it was a really toxic environment. But I still didn't care about that. It was chill, whatever. It was just it was hard. It was hard. The reason I quit that job is because the managers that I got hired with, they. You know, a couple of them was pretty cool. It was two dudes, two dreadhead niggas. One was light skinned like Bob Marley and had his kind of dreads. One was a dreadhead nigga looked like Quavo or something. And it was the overall boss lady, Jessica. She was really mean. She reminded me of somebody from like Bad Girls Club or something. It was crazy. But she was nice to me. She was just mean to a lot of niggas. And I didn't like the way she treated people. But like that entire management team, they ended up getting fired. Cause the dreadhead nigga Will, he got fired because they caught him stealing, you know. And it's like, nigga, how you get caught stealing, bro? It was really easy to steal from that store. He was just being lazy and got caught on camera, stupid as. It was allegedly easy to steal from that store. It was allegedly easy to steal from that store. The other manager, Malcolm, the thing is, because our store was also always short staffed, at least compared to the other Audis. Like every store be short staffed, but compared to the other Audis, ours is short staffed. So we have like a floater employee from other stores come out to help us sometimes. And so there was this one girl who came from, she had moved up from Florida to be like our temp assistant manager. Her name was like Brianna or something, and she was cool. She was like a real tough ass chick, cool lady, whatever. But she had beef with the manager who had been there already, Malcolm. Her and Malcolm did not click. They butted heads. They didn't like each other. And for the most part, that was fine. You know, it's like you don't like somebody at work, you can just avoid them. They could typically work together and not have a real problem. But honestly, none of the managers really liked Brianna. Brianna didn't like them either, but it didn't really matter. The problem came one day when Brianna lost her phone, and she was talking to Malcolm in the back room about it. She insinuated that she thought someone that worked there had stolen it. And so he being the nigga that he is, was like, why are you accusing me of that? You know, I'm stealing your shit. I should beat the fuck out of you pretty much. And he a tall man and that's a woman. So she reported his ass. Like, she rightfully reported his ass, and he got fired. So I was like, damn, nigga, you can't be doing that. Like, I didn't know you was like that, bro. That's weird as hell. He got fired for that. She ended up leaving anyway because she hated that fucking store. Like I said, the other manager got fired for stealing, and my big boss lady, they let her go, and we never really learned why. But we suspected it was like some money laundering shit going on. Because there was also like an underlying like money laundering scheme that like we were getting asked questions about, but none of us knew shit about. It was something going on with the managers and stealing money from the company. I don't fucking know. That was about my pay grade. But she eventually got fired for reasons we didn't know, probably related to that. And so yeah, it was a whole new management team in my last couple months there. New management team, I didn't have a problem with them at first, but this one dude, bruh, this one nigga, bruh, white dude named Steven, I just didn't like the way he talked to me, bro. I just didn't like the way he talked to me, man. It's like, cause like, I don't know, like a lot of managers, they was like kind of rude the way they told you to do things, but I didn't really give a fuck. But it was something about that nigga, the way he said it. One day I just snapped at that nigga, bro. I was like, he was like doing some cashier work one day, and he was like, Trevor, it look like you ain't doing nothing, why don't you go do X, Y, and Z? And he started laughing, and I'm like, nigga, who the fuck you laughing at, bro? And I'm like, don't speak to me that way in front of fucking customers. Like, I'm getting mad at this nigga. I'm getting real. He did this nigga in front of customers. And so after that, I walk away to go do my work. He come talk to me. Me and him arguing a little bit. We take him to the office, and we don't really see eye to eye, but eventually we get over it. And I'm like, whatever. That nigga ended up reporting me because I said nigga in front of customers. And technically that's against company policy. So I got fired for that. I got a paid week off while they did their quote unquote investigation, and then I got fired for it. But that was my fault. I shouldn't have got that mad at him. He baited me. He successfully baited me, and I'm usually good at like keeping a level head and not letting niggas get to me. But that nigga was a bitch, bro. We was the same age. Shoot, he was a bitch, bro. I did not like that nigga, dog. I did not like that nigga. But you know, it was a cool job. It was a cool job. I don't think his name was Steven, by the way. I don't remember his name. He had a generic white name. It could have been Steven, but fuck that nigga. But anyway, after I got fired from there, I was like, fuck, I gotta find a quick job, y'all. I gotta find a quick job. And who pop quiz. Who historically hires very quickly? Who hires people very quickly when you need a job in a pinch? Taking answers. You missed T-Pain level jobs? Yeah, you did. But hey, you know, that's how it be. I had geriatric white name like Joseph or some shit. It could have been maybe Joseph, but it was probably Steven. It was probably Steven. Fuck that nigga anyway. But yeah, I needed a job that could hire me immediately so I could keep paying my bills. And what job was that? What job was that? My third time at Amazon. Now this time, it wasn't that low. This time, I did not work in the warehouse. I was like, no. I learned my lesson the second time working for Amazon. I ain't working in a warehouse no more. Let me be a driver, you feel me? Let me whip that bit. I took my little truck driving test. I was whipping that hoe. I was like, oh shit, this shit chill, man. They had me, you know, I'm whipping the wheel. I'm out of delivering packages. It was a seasonal job. It was a seasonal job. I'm doing that shit during peak season. But god damn, nigga, they beat the fuck out of me. Like, that was how long did I work there? I worked there from like November to January. So I worked there like 3 months. They beat the fuck out of me, nigga. That peak season was hell. They had a nigga sprinting out that truck. They had a nigga. I was moving out that bitch. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy, bro. I was fucking yeeting niggas packages. I wasn't eating niggas. That's the thing. You couldn't eat niggas packages because you had to like go up and take a picture of everybody's package after you delivered it. So you know it made you slow yourself down. It's like the thing with that job is like you were encouraged to not take your breaks because if you took your breaks, you weren't on time. So it's like technically you had 2 15s and a 30, and I remember the first time I took all 3 of those breaks on the shift, they came back and I was like out there a little late and they was like, hey man, you gotta come back. They was like, you know, like fuck finishing route, you gotta get back there. I'm like, I still got packages. They was like, yeah, but you took too long. And so, you know, it was amount of packages I could have got done in an hour, which is, you know, my amount of breaks. So I was like, all right, bet. So I went back and then, you know, they wrote me up because I still had fucking packages in my shit. But I was like, yo, I had to take my breaks and I couldn't move no faster. It's basically DoorDash. Like you can't stop. It's like DoorDash on crack though, because you move in boxes, bro. But it's DoorDash. It's DoorDash, and it's like, and they had like cameras in the car too. So like, if you ever got caught like speeding, the vehicle tracked you. If you ever got caught driving without your seatbelt, you got a warning, and you got it's like you didn't get your confirmed pay for that week. And the confirmed pay, it never mattered during peak because confirmed pay was like, if you didn't get all the hours for your week, you still got paid out anyway. But it's like if you got caught with any infraction during the week, you didn't get that confirmation, which I thought was crazy. But it ended up not mattering because I worked peak season, so we had all the hours we needed. But yeah, nah, that job, it was just tough though. Did I pee in a bottle? Several times. I peed in bottles several times because if I would have stopped and used the bathroom, I would have been late. So I kept water bottles with me, and some days I was like, fuck, some days I had to like pour out the rest of the water bottle because I needed to pee in it. I was like, fuck, man. You know, I could have peed in the water, but I didn't want to risk overflowing it. And it got to the point I started buying Gatorade because I was like, one, I need electrolytes, and two, it's a bigger bottle. So, the way we would pee is like you just go in the back of the truck and close the door so the camera couldn't see you, because the only cameras they have in the van are in the front, and in most of the trucks there was a door that blocked the back off. If there wasn't a door, I just angle myself in a way to where like the camera saw my ass. I don't know, maybe my shit was poking out sometimes, but they probably never saw my meat. They didn't tell me they saw my meat. So if they got my meat on file, then damn, they got me. Like shit, champ dick pics out there, you know. If you want to blackmail me, go find them or some shit. But I don't think I ever got caught with my meat out. But I was pissing in bottles probably at least 2 or 3 times a week, if maybe more. I don't know. But yeah, Amazon, the only reason I stopped was because it was seasonal, and so once that season ended, they cut all the drivers who weren't their best drivers, and I was not one of their best drivers. I was not one of their best drivers, and they was like, all right, nigga, peace. And I was like, all right, y'all, I'm gonna fuck with y'all. And now into my last and current job, CPI security, probably the easiest job I've ever had. I work third shift, which, you know, it sucks, I'm a vampire, but like, I just respond to alarms, nigga. I go over a two-way signal like CPI security, identify yourself, ass shit. Like, I sit in a fucking AC office. It's very slow third shift. I can watch YouTube. I be in that bitch chilling, bro. I be in that bitch on my phone. We be in that bitch just saying whatever. Like, it's, I've only been here since oh, that's my pick, Joe. Oh, so when I was making the tier list, I actually uploaded the same pick of me twice. So the one up here represents unemployment, when I was unemployed during the start of COVID. The one down here is just because I uploaded it twice and needed to put it somewhere. But and it look, you know, it looked funny next to Ball Bezos. But yeah, that's me. But where do you pill security? I'm gonna break in. Fuck you. I'll never tell you that. But I mean, no. Actually, Mubs, we cover the Southeast. We cover Georgia. So if you got a system, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and actually sign that alarm off. I'm coming over, bitch. Like, I'm gonna be there, nigga. Like, I dare you to have your account pop up while I'm at work, fuck, nigga. Like, I'm gonna be there, bitch. Bitch. But yeah, nah, this is the best job, the easiest job I ever had. It pays really well. I can work overtime whenever I want. They got like an in-house gym that I just started taking advantage of. They got a in-house like personal trainer who can like give you like workout plans and diet plans and all that shit. I've been working with him for like a month now, you know what I'm saying? The nigga been on a little deficit for a month. You know, I don't put some pounds off. I don't put a little weight off. So despite it being an office job, I'm looking pretty good. I'm getting a little slimmer, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting that work in. I'm hitting like 1,800 a day, you know what I'm saying? The goal is just under 2,000, but I typically hit like 1,800. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Though, man. The job is just so painless. Ain't shit to do. It's third shift to night shift, yes sir. So the thing is, like, if you want a social life, good luck. But like, I don't really want one. So I'm good. I'm just locking on this job for like a year, and then I'll rebuild my social life. It's whatever. And yeah, Mubs, I'm only hitting up the gym when I get off third shift 3 times a week. So the way it works is when I get off on when I get off Monday morning, I go to the gym. Then I'm off the next 2 days. When I get off Thursday morning, I go to the gym. And when I get off Friday morning, I'm going to the gym. Is my plan. Which, you know, 3 times a week ain't bad because it's closed on weekends. So, you know. But yeah, nah, it's a real nice. They got an in-house cafeteria that's like affordable as shit. The most expensive meal in this cafeteria is like $6, and you get so much food, bro. It's I'm not using it as much now because I'm trying to, you know, be more mindful of my diet, and it's hard to track calories when you're going to a cafeteria on some things. But it is a really nice option to have. And like I can get something basic when I need to. But yeah, that is my every job I've ever worked ranking tier list. Streamer getting unbeast on guys. Streamer is getting unbeast. But yeah, no, that's all she wrote. I'm done. I did it. I'm currently here. I don't plan on leaving this job. I don't think this job can get bad. Now, quote me on this in 6 months. If I'm still at this job in 6 months, this the one. If I'm not, hey, maybe we do the tier list again. You feel me? Like, maybe we run it back. But yeah, that's it. That's all she wrote. Job tier list over. I think these are all very accurate placements. I ain't had too many bad jobs. Even like the jobs I'm calling bad, they wasn't that bad. The only job that was really ass was like 2025 The Baby and my second time at Amazon. But yeah, W, brother. All right, now it's midnight. Technically, I'm gonna be up all night anyway. But I don't know if do I want to keep streaming? Should I play a game or something? I don't know if I should play a game. They just finished renovating the gym in my office. You might start hitting it up. If you didn't have an hour and a half drive to work, ooh, an hour and a half drive to work is tough. If I had an hour and a half drive to work, I would not be going to that gym. I only go to the gym now because I can go there like right after I get off, and I think that's the time I prefer working out anyway. But it works out conveniently. Third shift is just perfect for my life right now. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. But yeah, can you rank all your jobs and all 225 Pokemon in the same tier list? No. Why would I do that? What would I gain from doing that? I love this song so much, by the way. Palm Tree Panic Funk Slow. This might be top 5. This might be my top 5 of the year. I'll keep it a stack. I'll keep it a stack, bro. I'll keep it. This is the perfect song for me. God damn. It's not annoying. It's scratching my brain in the right way. Some nice bass. Got that little happy noise in it. This is perfect background music. Thank God. But do I want to play a game? Not really. I'm probably gonna call a stream there. But all right, y'all. There's the monthly stream. What tier is full-time streamer? Shit. I'll use this pick for full-time streamer. If I could be a full-time streamer, that'd be right up there. I think that'd be right up there. Plays the next week. Hey, no promises. hey, no promises. You know what I'm saying? No fucking promises, buddy. No fucking promises. But yeah, I'm in stream. I don't think there's anything I feel like streaming. Any game I might do some gaming later, but I really don't fucking know. I'm gonna call it there. Thank y'all for stopping by. Thank y'all for coming through. Hope y'all enjoyed the job tier list. Hope y'all learned I ain't shit. Hope y'all learned I ain't never gonna be shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still that nigga. But I'm still him. I'll never stop being that nigga to the day I die. To the day I stop breathing. Take my shirt off, all the hoes stop breathing. One of y'all might be the realest niggas when I hold my breath. Fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck you. Not you, Link, but fuck everybody else. Fuck them niggas.